Yeah, hi. Good morning, friends. This is Wasim Ahmed once again with you, and today we came up with a very important topic here. We'll be discussing some of the important issues people were facing during the exam on 6th of August 2020, so that we can cover up all of these issues during the next exam, which is due on 28th of October 2020. So, these are some of the common mistakes people made during the exam, and most of people they were curious about all of these things to know. So let's discuss these common mistakes so that we should not repeat all of these mistakes. Guys, time factor is one of the most important factor for NEBOSH IGC open book examination, and many people they were having this doubt that we have 24 hours time, so time is not an issue. But even 24 hours for many people were not enough to complete the exam because of mismanagement of time, and they could not manage their time well. So you need to keep in mind that you are given 24 hours and you should not waste much of time here and there. In this exam many people they wasted their time in looking at some of the resources which were not required to be looked at. As in this exam, NEBOSH provided one of the reference document which was 88 pages document, and it was helping to solve only one question. So in the beginning, many people they downloaded that document, which was HSG245 document, and they started reading out the whole document, which was a mistake. Because if you are smart enough and you read out the whole questions before time, you know in which question this document is required, and even you can directly go to the information source which is required. That was one page only out of that document, which would have given you an idea on that typical question, and you would have not wasted reading out whole 88 pages of that document. Also many people wasted time, in making researches on data and here and there. You need to first look at the scenario, which is the main information source with you, because your whole exam depends on the scenario, and you need to connect your answers with the scenario. So that it was the main factor. Many other people they had some disruptions, some internet problems. They were on the jobs, they could not come up with the adequate time for the exam. Guys, time management is very important, and as far as my knowledge is concerned, you should minimum spend 1 hour each question, and you should spend 2 to 3 hours in reading out the scenario and questions and making your summaries for the scenarios. One thing should be kept in mind that the more you are working on understanding the scenario and questions, the more lesser time you are going to consume for your exam, for answering the questions later on. So your understanding is the key. Even if you need to spend some more time on reading out the scenario, on making summary of your scenario, on understanding the scenario, that would be much beneficial than as compared to your answers and all that part. So this was one of the bottleneck during the past exam. We need to cover up this problem, and we need to utilize our time adequately. Guys, another important problem during past exam in August 2020 was resource utilization. And we all know that we have many kind of resources available. We have book, we have web sources where you have IOSH website, Health and Safety Executive website, we have ILO websites and many other websites also, digital sources, magazines, other books also. So you must make sure that you are not relying on one source of information. You have to show examiner that yes, you know how to use different sources of information to formulate your answers. So we were discussing in earlier videos also. For example, you need to make your point using facts and figures sometimes. So for those facts and figures, ILO website is the best website. OSHA websites are the best websites. So you need to approach those resources, and you need to write information from those resources, and then you need to reference that information accordingly in your exams. So resource utilization should be properly done. You should formulate your answers. You should do mind mapping on your answers, where you need to clearly mention which sources of information are required to answer that typical question, so that you come up with variety of information. You are not sticky to one source of information, which is your book only. So this should be done adequately also. Friends, I always suggested you guys in my earlier videos also that understanding of a question is the key to success. In the past exam in August 2020, many people they failed to understand most of the questions and they were going in a wrong direction. For example, if we recall question number 4, where examiner was asking you about benefits of having a health and safety management system within the organization, the question was quite clear, but most of the people fail to understand this question. They keep on writing the elements of a formal health and safety management system, which was not required. So it was totally wrong approach to solve this question. In question number 7, where examiner was asking you about defining the level of investigation, and you needed to refer to the HSG 245 document which was provided by NEBOSH. Many people could not understand what examiner would like to ask here, and most of them they kept on writing general items in that specific question. Guys, we all know that when you need to define the level of investigation, we need to consider same two factors which we use in risk assessments. We need to look at the likelihood and the consequence of the same event occurring again in future. And if your likelihood is high, your consequence is high, for sure the level of investigation should be high. And a high level investigation should be led by management and a team framework. Not one person should do that investigation. Even if you would have considered that information source, which was HSG 245 document, this information was available only in one page. No need to read out whole 88 pages for the accident investigation and all that. Your required information was there in one page only. So many people wasted their time reading out the whole document, and then later their approach to solve that question was also wrong. So we need to be very careful about understanding of questions, guys. Unless you understand what examiner would like to know, how you can think you are going in the right direction or not. Another important part of your exam is connecting your answers with the scenario, and unless you connect your answers with the scenario, you are just providing general information to the examiner. It means you are not keeping that scenario in your mind, and you fail to connect your answers with that scenario. Actually, why they provided you a scenario is they want a complete solution to come up with the adequate strategy to overcome problems in that scenario. So many people they were simply writing the answers, copying from the book or from any source of information. But as we discussed earlier, you need to introduce the problem, you need to write the body of the answer, and then finally conclusion is very important, where you are connecting everything with your answer, where you are connecting with the scenario, providing a complete solution. So unless you connect your answers with the scenario, this is very generic information, and examiner would get an idea out of your answer that you are simply writing the information, but you don't know how to solve that problem which they are facing in that typical scenario. So getting good marks in the exam is not only to provide information which is required, but how you are going to connect it with the answers you are providing in your exam. For example, examiner asks you that organization does not have any management system in place, and now they are planning to have a management system. So what are the benefits you think they are going to have out of that management system? We all know that having a formal health and safety management system, we have many benefits, but the best answer was that you would have connected that those benefits to overcome the problems faced by the organization. For example, there was no reporting system in the organization. There was poor reporting, accident reporting and investigation procedure. So you would have written one of the benefit of management system is that you have formal procedures, policies in place. And for example, one of the policy could have been that proper investigation procedure or a reporting procedure. If they would have management system in place, they would have definitely a reporting procedure in place, and people would have reported those accidents which were gone unreported. So you have to connect it. You need to tell examiner that yes, this is the benefit of the management system, and this is how it is going to cope up with the current problem in the organization. So connection with the scenario is the key also you should keep in mind. Guys, as we discussed earlier also in my videos, the answering techniques should be defined very well during the mind mapping session you are going to do for answering the questions. For example, we have a variety of resources available. We have a lot of information available with us. But how to put that information in the right place, in the right time, in the right amount? This is the key. So you should know the typical question, how I need to provide an answer to that question to get maximum marks. So, for example, if he is asking you about evaluation of first aid arrangements, then for sure we know there are certain points we need to discuss: the area, the spread of workplace, the type of previous injuries, and all those factors we will be considering while providing first aid arrangement within the organization. But many people, they were wasting time somewhere else. They were writing on the first aid facility requirements, they were writing on the first aid equipment requirements which was not required. So before solving a question, you need to do some mind mapping, and you need to define how much percentage of my answer should be in certain area, and then accordingly you need to answer those things. So you need to know the answering technique very well to get good marks in the exam. Guys, many people are still relying on the keywords which we used to rely on earlier in the previous examinations, invigilated examinations, and to the point question answers. To me, keywords is not playing any more role in answering your questions. Okay, for example, define, describe, explain, all of those keywords, they were used in that scenario where you had a direct answer. But now it's a scenario based exam. These words are not playing much role. So you should not define the depth of your information using these keywords, but you need to be more looking at the scenario and the connection of your answer to the scenario. Okay. And for sure, it is clearly mentioned in NEBOSH question paper in the first page that very small answers, very answers where you have lack of information will not be given marks. So for sure, we need to go with a little bit more explanation, like 3 to 4 lines each point, 2 to 3 lines each point, and this is how you need to formulate your answer. You don't need to be worried about keywords which we were using earlier also. Now the whole technique is changed, and you need to change accordingly while answering your questions. As NEBOSH provide you ample time and instructions also well before time. I remember they were providing instructions to the people that you should have a proper internet connection, you should have proper speed of your Wi-Fi's and all those things. You should not have any disruptions, distractions during the exam. So many technical issues were there which people were facing, and most of those technical issues were with regards to your computers and the understanding of the portal of NEBOSH while submitting the exam and all those things. The the solution to this problem is only you need to get yourself very well aware of all those tools and techniques which NEBOSH provide you well before exam, and your learning partner also provide you with that information. So one day before exam, you need to set up the whole scene. You need to make sure that where you are going to sit, any in any area, any environment which is disruption free environment. Your internet connection should be very good, and you don't need internet connection throughout 24 hours. For sure, you will be downloading those exams, and then you keep on working. but to access the information sources, for sure you need internet connection also. And to submit the exam, many people, they were on the jobs, they, they have uh, typical restrictions on the job. You cannot use internet in most of the places privately. So you I would suggest you take a leave for that day. Make sure that you are cool and calm, and each and everything is set up well before time. Your technical things are properly covered, and you don't have any problems, any disruptions during the exam, because online exams, you need to rely heavily on these technologies, and you should have a good arrangement for those technologies. Rather, then there is a regret later on that your internet connection was not good, or you failed to submit in time and all that. Apart from everything, if you have a genuine problem, NEBOSH give you privilege to make an appeal, and they can adjust those things also. For example, you failed to submit your exam due to a genuine reason, to a medical reason or to a certain reason, and where you can provide evidence of that typical issue, NEBOSH for sure will help you in that, and they might give you a later date for exam or submission or something. But you need to read out whole of instruction document by NEBOSH, given by NEBOSH or by your learning partner, to see where you can go and make appeal, what are the things you need to arrange, and all those things. So understanding is the key here. Guys, in my earlier videos, I have clearly defined the malpractice policy of NEBOSH, and NEBOSH make sure that people are not involved in the malpractice. But some people thought that NEBOSH might not have typical tools to judge whether this exam was, straightforward. They were not involved in the malpractice and all that. Guys, they are very smart people, and they know, looking at your answers even, they can judge that this is a simply copy pasted information, or somebody helped you during the exam, or it is done by somebody else, because later there's an interview also. So my suggestion always remains the same: don't get yourself involved in the malpractice. You already get a lot of privileges by NEBOSH during open book exam: easy access to any source of information, a lot of time to solve your answer questions and all that. So why to go for a malpractice and invite a problem for yourself? And if the malpractice is proved, guys, you can be banned for 5 years with NEBOSH. Any qualification, you will not be eligible to go with any of examination with NEBOSH. Either it's a certificate level course or a diploma level course, you will be under a ban for 5 years. So the advice is, don't get yourself involved in the malpractice. And we all know what are the malpractices: simply copying and pasting information from web sources or any other source to your answer without providing reference, or somebody sitting with you helping you in solving your exam, or it is not entirely your work, somebody has done your exam on your behalf and submitted as your work. All of these three are malpractices for NEBOSH, and the penalties, charges are very severe on that. So get yourself away from these practices and make sure that you are not involved in that practice. So friends, I think you liked the video, and we covered almost everything which was required to be covered, and we have tapped on each and every problem people were facing. This was only based on the feedback I got from candidates. If you have any query, any problem, any issue, you are more than welcome to ask me, and hope you like the video. Stay tuned, stay connected. We will be meeting up in our next video very soon. Stay connected, because before the exam, these videos might help you a lot. So just give me your feedback and stay connected. Thank you very much.